You're listening to the Career Plus Life Catch-Up, episode number 95. Welcome to the Career Plus Life Catch-Up, a show anchored in reality to help you create a balanced life where you enjoy both your work and your life, because you don't have to choose. I'm your host, Cecile Ferry, a corporate executive turned coach and working mom. This is your place for insights, advice, and tools to optimize your career direction, balance, and confidence. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get into it. Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you're well. I am recording this from my very warm house now that my heater has been fixed, which is handy in the middle of the coldest winter ever in Melbourne right now. So I'm at home, really nice and cozy. It's the Cancer new moon. I'm really loving the energy. It's very much that home nurturing energy. And I'm loving this to talk about also where we're at in the year and to restart, because it feels like a nice soft yin kind of restart. So in case you haven't heard last week's episode, I talked about how to take stock of the year so far, and I gave you lots of powerful questions to journal on your own. So this is part 2 today, where I'm going to share my own lessons. So you can really do them in any particular order. So if you haven't done the last episode 94, maybe do it after today. But today will be more about sharing my own lessons, and I'm hoping that some of them will resonate with you. I'm not going to go in a lot of details, so this may feel like I'm kind of flying through from one to the next, but that's to keep the episode to a normal size. But I'm more than happy to deep dive on any of those topics. So if there is one where you're like, yes, I need more help with that, Cecile, please, and chances are you won't be the only one, please drop me an email at cecile@careercatchup.com and tell me what the topic is, and I will definitely cover it in a future episode. By the way, you can always ask me for topics, not just because of today. So feel free, especially I'm going to record quite a few in advance ahead of my trip to France. So feel free to send anything you would like to know. All right, and just before we get started, I also wanted to remind everyone listening here that if you're after career coaching or life coaching, July is a really good time to get started. And I won't be around for August, so otherwise you'll be looking at September. And finally, if you haven't heard, I have a workbook on my website that you can go and purchase yourself. It costs $49 and it is the first step in career coaching. So if you're not ready for sessions, this could be the perfect tool for you at this stage. So go and check it out at careercatchup.com/switch. All right, now I'm going to share with you those 6 lessons about the first 6 months of the year. Are we ready? Let's get into it. Okay, so lesson number 1. That's a big one for me that I'm sharing vulnerably here. But I have received a lot of messages, and even through like my coaches and teachers, the people that I follow, and the message from different places was quite clear. It was about the need for me to build a very strong self on my own. And by that I mean without relying on external people, events, or circumstances. So that's a difficult lesson for me, but I needed to learn it, and it happened in the last 6 months because I am a single parent, so I live on my own. I spend a lot of time alone because I only have my daughter 50% of the time. So therefore there is space, right, in my life, and I am quite often looking to outside of myself to fill that space and to bring me some experiences in my life. Also, I don't have family nearby. They are all overseas. So for me, it's particularly challenging. And you may be in the same situation. You may not have family around you. So that may resonate with you. And so for me, I had a tendency to really rely on my external life to bring me that sense of strength and security, especially emotional security. So relying on my friends, relying on the success in my career. But I really got to learn that actually I first need to really build a very, very strong self on my own, no matter what. And that's the lesson I'm sharing with you. Nothing can grow externally if you don't have a strong internal self-sufficient foundation. That is, and you know what? This is hard. And if you haven't got that as a child and growing up, because maybe some people made decisions for you or people really criticize you, so you didn't have the self-trust in yourself, or, you just went through life with other people just making sometimes choices, then, we live in a world where we rely a lot on external advice and opinion and the likes. But the lesson is, like the image that comes, it's like being a beautiful, strong tree, right? You are the trunk. You need to be the trunk, even with no leaves on. And the problem is we are all chasing branches and leaves, but we're not investing enough in the trunk, if that makes sense. So really direct your energy towards building self-trust, self-love, really looking after yourself, and know that you're okay on your own no matter what else is happening. And then you can grow through people and event. But it is not coming through that. It starts with you. My second lesson is the more you wait, the longer it takes. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, but bear with me. Like, this was a lesson. I realized I've been waiting a lot, and I think a lot of us do that, because by waiting, I mean, it's that attitude of kind of sitting there, maybe potentially procrastinating, and like kind of waiting for things, I won't say to fall on our lap, but waiting for external things to happen. So that's linked to my first lesson. But waiting for things, to fall in place, to happen. And it's that externalization again. And the thing that I've really learned, and it's really true, the more you do that, the more you'll be in the same situation. That's why I say the longer it takes. Because actually, you shouldn't be waiting, because you are the one you're waiting on all along, and you can start now. So stop waiting for a better career or life and just be in the waiting room. I think that's another way to phrase it. The more you wait, the longer it takes. The more you're in the waiting room, the longer you're away from the life that you want. So move out of the waiting room. Take action now. And stop waiting, because it puts you in a situation of powerlessness, of doubting yourself, not feeling strong in yourself. It makes you feel quite weak, actually. But you are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you think. So stop waiting, and you will see things will happen a lot faster when you do that. Lesson number 3, which really surprised me when I found that out, but it's about the fear of success. So a lot of us are afraid of failing, and me included, and I think most people are. But also, quite a big part of us are actually afraid of the opposite, which is to make it, to have a great success in our career in particular, I'm talking here, or it could be financially. And that is a concept that I learned through my coach, and I identified resonated with me. And I realized actually that we may want, a better job, more money, like the success. We may say that, but actually, how does it feel deep down inside our bones? If we imagine us with all of that, it might feel like, ooh, freaky, or like, ooh, not really comfortable. So some of us, and maybe a lot of us, are actually afraid of success. That can be newsflash for you. We can be afraid to have an increased level of happiness, of wealth, and all the things that come with it, right? Because we all have like an inner thermostat of the level that we are comfortable with, I believe. And I think it's true. And so when we are contemplating or trying to raise that to get a much better job, with a lot more happiness, with a much better situation, more money, like this can really actually, even though we really want it, it can activate some anxiety into us because it doesn't feel as safe, if that makes sense. So this is a lot unconscious. So we're like unconsciously freaking out and we will sabotage. And so that is a concept Gail Hendricks talks about in his book called The Big Leap. And he calls this the upper level limit. So a really good book to read, by the way. If you haven't, it's a quick read. So I'm asking you, where is your level? Are you afraid actually to move to a much greater level because it doesn't feel familiar, right? So we are more used to stay in our current role where maybe we don't have all the success we dream of and all the things that we want. But it actually, even if we're not as happy, we're used to it. And so see how maybe it's just that fear of getting there. And if that resonates with you, then you need to make space and you need to build capacity for having more, for being more, for that success. And you need to feel like it's safe for you. So that could be a really big driver of self-sabotage. That's why I'm sharing it here, because you got to be onto yourself, because otherwise, and quite unconsciously it can happen, you actually kind of just stay at the level that you're at. Okay, lesson number 4. There's a strong link between gut and brain. So I won't do a whole theory here. You may have heard about it, but I've felt it pretty much. I have realized that when I actually feel really relaxed with very limited stress, and for me, it's when I let it all go. When I stop worrying about how things are going to turn out, and I'm just like, whew, let it all go. And I'm like, doesn't matter. Whatever happens, happens. When I let it go, my gut relaxes and I feel a lot more peaceful and positive and happier in my brain. Just literally feel that. And also with my change in diet, I've definitely been on the journey of learning about gut health. There's a great book called The Gut Repair Book by a lady called Sarah. I forgot her surname, but I will put in the show note if you want to learn more about that link. And there are some recipes for shots and the likes. So there's a very strong link between having a healthy gut and having a healthy mind. So for me, when I remove all gluten, the main impact that I saw was mental. And I just felt so much sharper, so much more focused and happier, to be honest, less prone to maybe depressing thoughts or negative thoughts. I really felt the difference. So I'm sharing that here. I am not a medical professional. You've got to look after your own situation and health, but maybe something worth exploring for you, because it's very unknown. And I think a lot of us may not have an optimum gut health with the kind of food that's out there and the lifestyles that we have. But my God, the benefits, the perks of changing that and how you feel is amazing. So I highly recommend anyone to look into that if that's where you're at. Lesson number 5 is that I've been working on raising my self-worth. And I think we all can always do that more and more. It's not like I don't have any. I actually have very strong self-worth in my job, in my career, with my family. But I was looking more in some other relationships in my life, like just relationships in general, with friends, with other kind of partners. Like this is where I could see there was potential for more, because I would see what life was mirroring to me. So I have used personally a lot of subliminals. So this may be something you want to look into, because when it's linked to childhood and very much things that are in the unconscious, it's difficult to shift them with an affirmation or reading a book. I'll be honest with you. I've tried that for many years. So some of those things are more deeply ingrained, and you got to find what is the real block for you and then find the right subliminals. So that's what I've been working on. And as a result, I really feel like I know my worth when I'm with people. And that's what I want to share with you here. And now I really know that other people's reaction or behavior or actions, is a reflection of what is going on with them, not a reflection of my worth. And I think that is so hard to unpack and to really cut the cord, because often when someone does something, you feel like, oh, maybe it's me. Maybe I haven't done enough of that, or I shouldn't have done that. Well, that is really self-worth work. Now I've really learned the lesson that if people don't respond, if people don't reciprocate the effort, if people don't show up for you, then don't chase, because it has nothing to do with your worth, and it is not your job to convince them of your worth. That you're worth investing time in or getting back to and, giving you the attention. But it is your job to have the discernment to know who is worth your time and attention, and to value yourself and to value your time. So in other words, don't let people treat you poorly. Don't spend your energy and your time with people that do not add to your life. And the only way to see that is when you have strong self-worth. And I think we all need to boost our self-worth that way, and so that we don't let other people maybe do things or have reactions around us that are not okay. So for me, it's been a really good journey. I'm still on it, but I've already seen it paying off, where then it's much easier to make decisions, to have boundaries, because you're like, you know what, it's because you feel so strong about yourself. It's not arrogant or anything, but it's knowing what you're worth. And then knowing that this is just someone else in their journey and where they're at. And it doesn't make you feel bad about yourself. So really something I recommend you look into. And I can help you in life coaching as well. And finally, and I'll keep that one short, my lesson number 6 is social media and phone scrolling is really useless. So sorry to all of you listeners that love social media, and maybe you have that kind of personality, but I'll put it out there because I reckon a good 80 to 90% of you will be nodding with me right now, because a lot of us do it. But seriously, it has happened. I have drifted off social media more and more, especially of Facebook and Instagram, and I hardly ever post. And I'm no longer in my Facebook group, which some of you would know, being in it, in my community. And it's just been a natural shift. And I've realized, I'm like 6 months later, I'm just doing less and less on there. And how do I feel? Like I haven't missed anything. And better for it, really. So for me, it's a big learning. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a waste of our time. Really, you could be arguing, Cecile, I've been able to find out people's services, products, and they're like, yeah, but there are other ways. There's online, right? So I personally think and aim to decrease my screen time. And I look at that every week and be off my phone as much as possible. I will still message people through an app like a WhatsApp, because that's building connection. That's to organize, catching up and doing something. It's not aimless for me, but I find just scrolling to fill the time, to get a hit of dopamine, no thanks. I'd much rather actually do that through other avenues, like cooking, doing a different hobby, tackling a new creative project at home. And even I might read something online, think about a topic and I'll go and search for it. But the idea of just filling my time with social media is, I think, a big lesson. So don't let it fill your life. You curate what fills your life. So look at the balance right now. Are you letting social media fill your life too much? All right, my friends, so there you have it, my 6 lessons for the first 6 months. I mean, I had many more, but I think those that might help you the most. So if I was to attempt at just recapping those and just trying to bundle them together, this is what I would say. I would say, get off your phone, start working on yourself, building a strong sense of self. Stop waiting take action. Don't let the fear of success hold you back, right? Know that this can be happening. Look into your health if you need, if you think there may be something going on brain and gut relation-wise in your body. And just keep working on your self-worth and raising that. And from that energy, from that place, like think about that tree again, all the branches and the leaves will absolutely flourish, my friend. So I hope this has inspired you. I hope between last episode and this one, you can take stock and you can look at things quite, with a realistic mind, but also a constructive mind. There's no point beating yourself up because that is not energy that will be good for you in the second half of the year. But let's just go, right? Shall we? Let's just be like, enough of the waiting. What's the most caring and important thing we can do for ourselves? And it is about chasing those goals. Some maybe in your career, some maybe in your life. And that's really what I want for you in 2024 for the remaining of the year. Like, let's go. Let's do it, people. Because there is plenty of time left and you're ready. You don't need more. You don't need to wait more. You don't need to know more. You can get started now. And I'm here to help you if you want to work together. So I'm going to leave you on that note, really wishing you a great second half of the year. You can do it. You're so worth it. And I'm going to be here with you all the way. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful week, month, and second half of the year. I will speak with you very soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to find out more information, you can visit my website at careercatchup.com. There you will find blog articles, free resources, a self-study course for your career direction, and ways to work with me. It's at careercatchup.com. I hope to continue to connect with you and support you. Talk to you soon.